Hi, I'm Kelly Wave, and this is a drawing I did of Caustic from Apex Legends. I wanted to do the design based off of my player banner that I have, because I have this really cool legendary skin where it's like super space-like, and I just love the colors for it. It kind of reminds me of Assassin's Creed a little bit with the hood and everything. But I really love it. It's such a cool skin. I'm happy I have it. And I know on the screenshot that I put up, he has like either it's a mask or a helmet or something. I didn't want to do that because I wanted to do the goggles and the gas mask because that's a lot more fun to draw. And I wanted to see his eye because I wanted to do something very specific for the eyes anyway. So for the line art, I didn't work a ton on it because my ultimate goal for this one was to focus on bright colors because the banner has like the really bright colors in it. And from my previous video, I was talking about how I'm not a huge fan of drawing with bright colors. So I thought this would be a good challenge because it's happy colors before a very uh dark and edgy character. Yeah, loopholes. So when I worked on the line art, it actually got a lot better. Like I'm definitely improving a lot more, which I'm really proud of. I still struggle where if I'm working on it too long, then my line confidence gets a little shaky, but that's because my arm's a little bit more exhausted at that point. Honestly, I might be getting carpal tunnel. I wouldn't be surprised. I used to work on a computer for a living, so it unfortunately might be inevitable. So, fun fact, I wasn't really that big of a gamer up until a couple years ago, and Apex is the first FPS I have owned and played. Because I had gamer friends when I was in like high school and stuff, and sometimes I would be over and they would be playing, they'd be like, hey, do you want to join? It's like, sure, but I don't know what I'm doing because I never really owned a console. The only console that we owned when I was a kid was the Wii. And that was pretty much it. So anytime it would usually be Black Ops 2, and I would join and maybe only play for like half an hour because it was one of those things where it was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Sometimes they would explain to me, sometimes they wouldn't. But it was always so sporadic that I wouldn't remember how to play anyway. So then I would just get confused, then frustrated, then tired. Very, very quickly. And then just end up watching them play it because you know, their skill level is significantly higher than mine since I don't know how to play it, and it's just like frustrating in that sense. I also played COD at one point. It was an older stream that my boyfriend and I did on our other channel. Um, you can't find it, but I remember doing it. It was like we did 2-ish hours of Call of Duty, but in it was just with bots, and I was struggling. And then it wasn't until like a year or two later is when I picked up Apex. And we went in, tried to play a game, and I cried. A lot. I was very overwhelmed. I had no idea what was going on. In hindsight, a battle royale probably isn't the best idea for like, it's not user friendly for new gamers, so trying to learn it is a very big threshold. I'm better now, but that's because I basically play daily, but I play more wildcard now. And I think I started playing I started playing season 11 when Ash was introduced, then took a break after that season, and then came back and then had basically been playing it since and have been improving slowly but surely. I do really enjoy it. I should find other FPSs to play. Call of Duty was one I maybe had in mind, but that's partially because it's like that's one of the most well known. But I'm not sure. Comment below if you have any ideas for FPSs I should try. I would really appreciate it. And then there was this other time, not COD, but Halo, where I was hanging out with a bunch of friends and we, like, had just gotten back from, like, the shore or something, from the shore. And they were like, let's play Halo. And this was, like, Halo 4, I think? And I obviously had no idea what I was doing because I had never played Halo. So we did 2v2s in this arena, I guess. And they handed me the controller. I was like, what do I do? And they're like, oh, you just do this and this and this thing. Go! And it's like, what? And then they proceeded to get mad at me because I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know. That's I it's not my fault if you just explain it. That, like, I never played before. It's a little frustrating because it's like, I get it, you've been doing this most of your life, but I have not touched the game. This is my first time touching Halo, period. And it was not the best experience for me. I was very overwhelmed and very confused. I feel like I would be better now, but no idea. I will say though, for this hand, that was a little bit tricky, but that was because it's foreshortening and because of the angle it's at, the fingers are gonna be larger. So that worked out very well for that, and then because I didn't have any of the shadows yet, it just looked awkward when I initially did it. But now, because of the glow, it looks significantly better. And here's where I start going in with the bright colors. Now, initially I was going to do the brush that I normally do for the shading that I did on Caustic, but that ended up being way too blurry, and you could see it here. It's very blurry. Like, it looked more cloud, like, it's supposed to look cloud-like, but not at the same time because it's meant to be gas. So I ended up changing brushes and then adjusting it to make it look a lot better, and I ended up doing different layers of colors. And this really helped practice, was like a good mix of like trying to figure it out. It was practice as well, because then when I came in to do the front with the bright pink, I already knew what brush I wanted to use and how I wanted to do it. And my boyfriend already saw it, and he thought it was really interesting that the smoke coming out of the skull looked like thorns, which technically was intentional, but also not intentional, because I wanted it to look similar to tattoos, like with the really thick line work. Like, I wanted it to look tattoo-like. So I guess I did it properly because it looks kind of like that. And I ended up going in after and to do an outline because it looked weird without it. I was like, I can just, you know, go around it loosely and it'll look okay. And I really like it. And then I added the pink glows on everything so that it's like, hey, this is pink and glowy. and then it felt weird having the smoke behind it without the line work, so I added that. And then after this, it's a very brief thing, but I had this plan from the beginning to change the line art color. So I changed it, instead of it being black, it is blue. And I really like how this worked out. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you liked the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And hope to catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye!